if anybody said to me, I'm having issues with this internal operation, whether it's boring or grooving or threading, I'd send them straight to Scientific because they make it so simple to find what you need and be able to use it right away. Prior to my experience here at DeKING and using these solid carbide boring bars, my experience was using these indexable holders and inserts. And part of the issues that I encountered when using those was if you didn't have the certain rigidity, if you were boring to a certain depth that wasn't an ideal, if it was a deep cut, these indexable boring bars, you would start to run issues with chatter or surface finish quality, just simply because you couldn't get rigid enough, right? You had an insert and then you had a body, and it was two variables you had to control, right? The rigidity of the insert and how it was mounted on your machine. One of the benefits that I've seen from using the Scientific boring bars is that you took away that second piece that could fail, right? You took away the actual body. When you made a solid carbide boring bar, the entire boring bar is rigid. The entire boring bar can distribute that cutting force evenly. I remember the first time I saw one of those cuts, I was blown away by the surface finish quality we were getting compared to an indexable insert. For one of the benefits is the nomenclature, right? So when you're using an indexable holder and an insert, you have to know that holder nomenclature and you have to know that insert type, right? So CCMT or a VCGT, and you have to know all these identifying characteristics. One of the things that actually made my job a lot smoother once I started programming and ordering these tools was the ordering process became simpler for me because the name of the part would be B for boring bar 290 for your minimum bore, followed by the next number being the depth of cut. So 290 by 500, you can easily look at the box and know exactly how deep that tool can cut, what's the maximum range that tool can go. It saves a lot of headaches. There's no more searching around and looking at a chart and trying to figure out what the different nomenclature is. And that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits that we've seen from ordering Scientific tools. But then once you actually get them on the machine and you start cutting and you realize how well they work and how efficient they are for setting up, especially when you get into the quick change, right? If you have a CRT holder with a quick change boring bar, you could essentially have any operator that can twist an Allen wrench, be able to pop one in and pop one out. And we know that the center line is going to be on point. We don't have to find center line again. And that without making an offset, our next part is going to be exactly to our spec. For the last 7 years, every operator here has probably touched a Scientific tool on a weekly basis. We've used their single point threading bars, their boring bars. We've used even their spotting drills. I mean, every tool that we've had, we've never had an issue with. The support is great. On the website, it'll give you direct feeds and speeds, starting points for feeds and speeds for every single boring bar, every single thread mill. If you need to generate thread mill code, you have the thread mill code generator there that you can just pop in your thread major, your thread dimension specs, and it'll give you some code that you can actually take a look at and use on your machine. It's easy for us to just go and place an order and pick some up. You guys are always in stock. You guys typically have everything when we need it. I don't think there's ever been a time where we go, hey, we need this boring bar, and we call you up and you're like, we don't have it. No, everything's always on the shelf and always coded. These days, when we're running more stainless, more super alloys, having things that on the shelf coded, ready to go is unbelievable. And I think that reliability, being able to count on a supplier to have what we need, even when it's our fault on organization and we slip up and we're not on time, that you guys have our backs is the best. I use Scientific cutting tools because out of the box, I know exactly what I'm gonna get in terms of performance and quality.